Sorry I can't bring you breakfast to save your okole, as you call it.
It's okay. Everyone, welcome to hour 20 and let's see, how many hours are we in? We're in 21 and a half in of the 24-hour podcast. And yep, Hawaii is awake. He is coming in. Ryan is coming in. He's got the address, so he won't run into the wrong backyard this morning. So Ryan should be here probably about an hour. And so we'll have Ryan in the house here this morning to, as he has traditionally done, closed us out. But again, we're doing well as far as making time on the show. Your host here is so far hanging tough. Again, my name is Todd Cochran, and if you're just checking in this segment of the 24-hour podcast, make sure you get over to geeknewscentral.com. Check out all the great content over there. Of course, we want to encourage everyone. We're doing a charity to raise money for Ronald McDonald House Charities. And you'll find a PayPal link on the website. There's also a get to it very easy to get to the PayPal link. All you got to do is, let's see if I can scroll up far enough, go to tinyurl.com/GNC24HR. tinyurl.com/GNC24HR. That'll get you into the PayPal section to actually donate. And thanks for everyone that has donated so far. But let me go ahead here and pull up look at the email inbox and see if we've had any stuff come in since the last update. And no new updates at this point, so we're still hanging at the level we were at before. Let's see here. Oh, yeah. We have a line open in the Ohanasaurus. Mom just tuned off on GNC Pod 1. And so we can have folks come in on that line if they want to dial or actually ring in. And I'll make sure that everyone's been approved that wants to slide in here. Hang on. Actually, GNC Pod 2's opened. Andrew's up on the first line. So, how are you so warm and chipper so early this morning, Andrew? I'm just,
Well,
you're so concise and on target. I'm like, it sounds like you're like mid of your workday or something. You know this stuff so well. It's like the back of your hand, isn't it?
well, it's because I love it, just like anyone who has a passion for something. In fact, both of my books, I started the introduction saying I love photography because that's really what it comes down to.
Right.
And I love that I can help people to capture moments of their life that are going to then be with them and their family for as long as they can, preserve them or hopefully archive them, which is, I know, a whole nothing. But that's the key. Just help people to preserve memories because you turn around, whether it's a puppy who grows up or a child who, all of a sudden is in college, the pictures are the things that we hold on to. And, that's what people take when they're in a disaster zone or, they grab the photo album because that's the memories. And that's what ties us to our history.
I have all my videos and all my pictures up in the cloud now. They're up in Amazon S3. And, of course, I still do my backup scheme where I'm taking hard drives to a safety deposit box. So, they're pretty important to me. Actually, I take 2 hard drives to a safety deposit box now and swap them out. But, it's you think how digital we are today. And I hear horror stories all the time of people that are devastated because they've lost. I had a hard drive go bad. I lost some images and I had to pay to have it restored. And you can pay, you're going to pay big money. You're going to wish you had an extra external hard drive of all that stuff somewhere. It's, with negatives, you could get negatives reprinted if they didn't get burned. But, we're in a situation today where no one should ever have to lose a picture ever again.
Well, that's absolutely true. And the key is to have 3 copies and 2 can be on-site, but 1 must be off-site. And whether that's a hard drive at a friend's home, which is the least expensive thing to do,
Yeah.
or even better would be a hard drive at a friend's home plus something on some kind of server somewhere else. Basically, I like to have 4 copies. Some people put everything on disk, which honestly is pretty laborious if you're
Yep.
going to be, especially if you're cooking through gigabytes of data. The Blu-ray burners have come down in cost, so a lot of photographers are using them, but it's still not very convenient. So hard drives seem to be the way in which most people are keeping their stuff, and the key is to just periodically copy that off. I don't know
Mhm.
how many years exactly to tell you to wait before copying it again, but I'll let the experts decide on that. You know.
Essentially, what I've been doing as I'm near capacity on those drives, and I'm creating a lot of content right now. I basically bump to the biggest hard drive size I can go to next, which gets me into the next really generation of hard drive, and then I bounce that data or copy that data to that other drive, and then the drive that it came from, that goes into archive. So I've got a mini
Yeah.
stack, a mini stack of hard drives that are, first copy over, second copy over, as we went from, the 200 gig drives to 500 to 1.5 terabyte, and you move from segment to segment, and obviously not all years backfill those other drives, but at least, call it anal, but it is, you almost have to be.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's the right way to do it. Some people will copy it to a new drive, but then they'll recycle the old one and
Uh-uh.
start using it again. I think you're doing it the right way. And even if it's 12, 15 years old, there is some, you know, security in knowing that, a portion of what's on this drive is also on and that drive,
Right.
you know. So I totally agree. Oh, while we chat, you might want to punch in page 37. That kind of illustrates the last tip I was talking about,
Okay.
because 37, when you can adjust your aperture, this is an example. This happens to be on a film camera, a Hasselblad. It's a square format, and I left it in a square format. And you can even get digital cameras today that are square format Hasselblads. Of course, they're like $20,000. But this was a film back, just a standard Hasselblad that people have been shooting with for, I guess, 40, 50 years. The first ones like that went up on the moon program on Apollo to photograph those missions. And this is a f2.8 with an 80 millimeter, but it's a large, very large 2 by 2 inch piece of film. So you can blow that up just to incredible proportions without losing detail. And there's an example of how I focused on the back of the dog, and you can see without any extra blurring or anything, the background goes really blurry, and they call it a Japanese term. It's called bokeh, which means bokeh means out of focus. So everyone uses that, like the bokeh is beautiful. And it's the way in which the lens is rendering the out of focus areas. So that's just
That's cool.
that's an example. Able to did that come up?
Which one? I'm sorry.
Page 37.
Yeah, it did. I've got it up.
Okay, I didn't see it there. So that's just one example. Someone on the chat asked if you can clean your own camera, and you can. Do some searches for cleaning DSLR, and you'll come up with like about 7 or 8 different products. One of the best is by Arctic Butterfly, and they're not that expensive. They have this interesting brush that spins and it creates static, so that you can then get all the dust off, and then it kind of attracts it. But you must be plugged into a power, or some people just charge up their battery so that they can expose their sensor, and they just hope that they can be done before their battery wears out. I generally recommend you actually plug in. Most cameras you can plug into an external outlet if you're going to go ahead and expose your sensor like that, to do the cleaning. So just do some searches on that. You'll come across some products. But
Does
I know
it
that
take a
Arctic
while to do
Butterfly-
that?
No, it just takes a few seconds.
But
Once you,
oh, but why do you think does the sensor discharge quicker, more quick when it's in that mode, or what?
it's not that it picks up dust like a magnet
Oh,
if it's charged. So that's the whole reasoning behind it. And it also spins off the dust. I mean, that's my understanding is that it's not just for picking it up; it also will spin off the dust that you've accumulated. Then for sticky dust, the stuff that won't come off, they have other stuff. But like anything, it may be worth it if you're not going to be if you're not a pro and you're not doing it before every big shoot. It may be better just to bring it to an authorized place, especially if it's a DSLR that you just spent $1,000 on.
yeah.
You you don't want to mess it up.
Uh, Adam Carolla Show. You can find all the winners at podcastconnect.com. The Podcast Awards website will be updated later. Adam Carolla.
Someone asked, I took my camera in. Should I expect them to have cleaned the CMOS? Well, they should tell you. So I would. It depends. I would ask them if that was part of it. One of the other kind of related things to showing that picture of the umbrella is if you want to do that, you will need an external flash. And one of the least expensive ones that's it's not well, it's well known by people who have been taking pictures a long time. One is called it's the Vivitar 285. It's like $50 or $60, and the reason why I really like that is because there's the doggy. The reason why I really like that is because, first of all, it's very affordable, and you can adjust it so that it's between either full power or 16th of a power, meaning you have complete control over the power of the flash. And that's really handy because once it's on there and you have complete power over the flash, it's not like you're trying to, use the TTL, which is like a way in which it tries to do everything for you. You're in control. And as long as, in that case, this is getting a little, complex, but you want to set your camera, usually if you're using flash, to shutter priority into either 60 or 1/25th of a second. And then you can just hook up a flash like that and create absolutely beautiful portraits of anyone or anything, either indoors or out. So that's what I'll say about flash. And you can obviously get the flash that mates with your camera, and there's all kinds of ways to use that, either on the camera or off the camera. But that's kind of like for people who just want to both save money and have the most control. Check out one of the Vivitar 285s, and not the other Vivitars, because not all of them have the ability to go in and dial down to 1/16th power, maybe even 1/32nd. I don't have it in front of me, but you can dial it way down. And the other advantage to that is if you put your batteries in there, it's going to refresh extremely quickly. And I'd recommend using the nickel metal hydride, the higher amperage ones that are rechargeable, because those give a longer life and a quicker recycle compared with alkalines. Plus, obviously, it's nice to be able to keep recharging them.
Right. And you don't have to, and that's our problem when we go to CES. We don't have time to recharge, and we end up taking 3-4 boxes, or 3 or 4 AA 36 packs, and we burn through batteries like it's ridiculous how many batteries we burn in a week. But if you don't have time to come back to the room and put 20 of them in a recharger, in the trash they go. But we're running wireless mics and everything else, and
oh yeah, and you don't want it to go in the middle of, like, if you have, who knows, Bill Gates in front of you, and then all of a sudden his mic cuts out. Oops.
sorry. That's just so you carry 2 pounds of alkalines in your pocket, and I can't imagine the amount of batteries that are thrown out at events like that. It's just I know how many we go through.
Right. I have a tip on that, and I meant to call into the podcast. Sometimes I hold back because there's sometimes I see really good things happening, but I don't want it abused by people, but Radio Shack will generally take almost any household battery
Really?
and they'll recycle it. Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, almost at least in my state. So, um, I don't know if you walk in there with a wheelbarrow. So I wouldn't abuse it, but
Right.
I noticed that they'll, at least in New Jersey, they'll take them. So next time you're in a Radio Shack or the Shack, I guess they call it
Yeah.
now, ask them if they accept if they recycle batteries. My in my little development here, they used to have a big like 40-gallon drum where you could drop batteries, but then they took it out. They probably had to pay too much. But I will not throw a battery in the trash, even like a little, like LR44, like a little disc type
Right.
watch battery. I just
Right.
can't do it because I know that anything we throw out, we end up eating and drinking again. So I'd rather not, in some way it finds its way back into the atmosphere.
Well, I tell you, if in all honesty, probably batteries, and I know every little bit helps, but you look at the number of car batteries that end up in the trash, you just,
It's bad.
it's bad. It's really, really bad. Yeah, Agent Pete, I don't know how, I might be looking good, but I'm definitely a little bit of wall action going on here. A little bit of getting punchy, too. So, par for the course. No.
I'll help you get through. You asked why I'm so chipper, and I actually slept, so that always helps.
Yes, it absolutely does.
So that was the reason. Um, so the other thing I would say with regard to if you just want to be out and about and you have like one of those pop-up flashes, this is a great tip for you, Todd. You may not know this, but I don't have the actual name of the product, but there's little diffusers. There's about two companies, maybe three, that you can just put almost like a Velcro attachment on two sides, and there's a little diffuser that you put in front of the pop-up flash, and it
Right.
makes a world of difference to your
I
picture.
think I've seen those before.
Yeah,
They're
so
little
take a look.
cheapy things. They're little plastic things, right?
Yeah, the plastic they have, but they have like a little bit of what looks like tracing paper. It's like a milk. We call it milk plexi, or it's like a just a little strip, but it does enough to avoid that really terrible on-camera flash look, and it will also help to reduce red eye. And I have some tips on that too, because red eye is like one of the biggest headaches people have. They're always wondering, oh, why is this my picture? Why are my cats? Why are their eyes, like weird colors? Um, there's like three things you can do, but the main thing to do is to turn off your flash and to put on another light somewhere. And one of the things that I show in the book actually is a picture of a cat, and let me take it to that. I actually use a headlight LED light, and these are great, but they're usually a little too harsh. But I'm sure you've seen them. They're really bright. That most of them have either one or three or five different LEDs in them, and you can just make your own little diffuser, like I have a picture of. And let me take you to that page. I'll tell you in a second what page that is. And what you can do is you can get one of these LED headlamps. It doesn't even have to be. It could just be an LED torch, just a really bright one. And you can make your own little diffuser out of all kinds of different things. Cup, like a really warm cup.
You're Andrew. You're really cutting out at this point. I don't know what's happening there.
Am I coming back now, or am I still cutting out?
It's better, but yeah, yeah. I think okay. I think you're. Try it now.
Am I better now?
Yeah, yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I
Okay.
sure can.
I'm not sure what happened.
Yeah, it
Okay.
was weird.
Solar flare. Um, anyway, if you put in page 28, you're going to see me with my hand holding an LED headlamp, and on it I had used just a little cone like a cup, and I put it on top, and then I used an off-white yellowish diffusion, just a piece of material that I had found. And you don't have to get too fancy. If you just, you can find something like in a fabric store, or even sometimes there are fabric like wrapping papers out there that are just off white
Right.
or like gold. So in this case, I'm just holding it there next to the cat, because in this case I was taking a picture of my little LG Envy phone, which is a decent little phone, but it's not great. And forget about using flash on most cell phones. That's a big tip. Just try to turn that thing off, because I think it's just some kind of cruel trick that they're trying to play. Um, I mean, a couple of phones have flash
Yeah,
on.
you're still really breaking up now. I don't know what's going on.
Oh. Do you want me to go hang up and call right back?
Okay.
How's that?
All right.
Okay, bye-bye.
Yeah, it got choppy there for some reason, and all right, we'll see what happens this time.
Okay, can you hear me, Todd?
Yeah, I think you're still choppy.
You know, it's weird. I mean, I have a really good connection over here, so that is really very, very strange. And
It's actually
the
not.
only thing
It's actually okay right now, but it definitely got
Okay.
weird there for a bit.
Okay, well, let me know if it starts to get bad again, and if so, we'll do what we have to do.
Yeah, it's we can hear it popping, so I have no idea what's causing it, but it definitely is. Definitely. Go ahead. Let's see how it does.
Okay, well, we had 25 good minutes or so.
Yeah.
Who's to know? I didn't change anything here. So
Yeah, neither did.
were you able to bring?
Yeah, that I've
were
got the
you
page
able
up.
to
Yeah, yeah, I've got the page up.
Okay, so let's see here. Essentially, just using any kind of ID. They said you could take a cup. and
Yeah,
just put
Andrew,
it
it's bad. It's like you're every 2 syllables. It's hitting in. So.
on. Okay,
Uh,
why don't we say goodbye? I think we had a good run,
yeah,
and
we did. Thank you so much for coming out, though. It was great, and I'm gonna have to go back and review this when I've had a few hours sleep, because there's a whole bunch of stuff in here I need to write down. And but yeah, great stuff, and I thanks for coming out and sharing. Um, yes, someone said the Ohanosaurus was belching,
could be.
and maybe the kids. Well, it's too early for the kids in the neighborhood to be getting up and starting gaming, but yeah, who knows with connectivity these days on how stuff works.
No, that's definitely true.
All right, Andrew, take care, and well, thanks for being supportive of the show, and thanks for coming on tonight and sharing. It was great.
Great. Thanks, Todd.
Take
Bye-bye.
care. Bye bye. Okay, well, we are at. That was weird, wasn't it? That kind of sucked, because it was good stuff there, and we just ran into good old Skype, or actually bad old Skype at this point. Hammer away at it. I don't know what was happening, but yeah, it's the machine behind me. I'm too tired to turn around and trace route it at this time, but. So we've got a few folks good morning. Do you have a Twitter link? Oh, someone was asking on the talk show account. And it looks like the talk show account's still hanging. Still hasn't crashed on us like it did earlier. So that's up. And Bree, don't worry, I'm still kicking here. So what I was actually doing was going in and editing a couple of pages. The webmaster will be waking up here in a little bit, and I was making sure that when he switched modes and to show the vote results for the podcast awards, that I make sure that I have the message on the top of the header page updated, and I'm going to remove the video stuff that's over there right now until he gets that changed out, and I actually get the video back up on in its process format over to Ustream. So That's what I'm doing right now is pulling this stuff down. And I'm going to update the message over there. And let's see here. If you guys will give me just a second. If anyone wants to dial in to try to call into the Skyposaurus or Ohanasaurus, GNC Pod 1, GNC Pod 2 is the number. And I'll actually put that up on the screen. And if you give me, guys, just give me a few seconds here. All right, I think I've got everything updated. Now I need to load the file transfer program so I can switch this, or actually move this updated file back over onto the Podcast Rewards website. I don't actually have the ability, or at least right now, to actually flag all the shows and how the webmaster does it over there. So I'm gonna hopefully I don't trash the site here with. Did he do something? Let me go look and make sure I didn't do something myself, or he didn't already do something. Let me look. Nope, he hasn't changed nothing. Okay, that's good. Now look at the site again. You guys can you can tell if this that still needs to be removed. Where did I miss? Oh, there it is. That's dumb. Yeah, it's at that time of night when I can't read anymore. Okay, there. That's updated. I feel better about that. Did I spell anything wrong? Nope. Okay. Good. All right. Let me close out Dreamweaver. Uh-oh. Is... Greg, what did you say? Ustream no love for the what? For the BB? What's that? Are we still up on Ustream? Okay. I was confused, Greg, what you were... Yeah, they're still here. My wife just walked in. I don't know why she's awake. So... I find it surprising we got 144 people still in here. Yeah, that's a good idea. Roll call. The question is, has any of you been here for the full event? That's the question. Oh, you can't use a BlackBerry on Ustream. That's too bad. I think there's 142 tuned in, but I don't think there's really 142 people on. I'd be very surprised if there was, especially at this hour. Well, Greg, you may not have missed much because half the people couldn't get into the Ustream stream. It died.
The person whom you're trying to reach is currently unavailable. Please leave a message.
Accidentally dialing people on Skype here. They're going, what is he calling me this morning, early in the morning for? Okay, everyone feel free. Call in and call into GNC Pod 1, GNC Pod 2. Let your voice be heard. Join the show. We've got about 30 minutes before breakfast arrives, and we're going to have Ryan in the house. I'm going to have to do a camera adjustment when he gets here this morning, and that's always a fun thing to do because we're one camera shy of being able to have everything set up the right way. So about time to do some jumping jacks. That's what I do when I'm running out of gas. And no, he's not going to talk about loss this morning. He's got on the agenda to talk about Hawaii Tech and geolocation and geolocation social apps like Foursquare and Gowalla. So if you want to learn about geolocation, Ryan's going to do that. I tell you, let's do a little experiment here. Let's go ahead and rally the troops. Everyone get their Twitter accounts logged into. And let's go ahead and tell them, come on in for the morning final finale here on the 24-hour podcast. You gotta come see the Geek suffering at hour 21 or something to that effect. Or 20. What are we? We're not even at 21. We're at 22. Yes. Okay. So we're still going strong. At hour 22 for the 24-hour podcast. 2 hours to go. Come help us finish out. And let me hit update. I haven't even checked the Twitter stream to see how, let's see what we, among other things, Ustream has unlabeled flash buttons. What does that mean? Oh, someone is telling me about accessibility on Ustream. And it's one of the listeners of the show that I think is vision impaired. That's having trouble getting into Ustream. All right, let's look at, let's see how many at Geek Newses we've had here. go back and look and see how bad the comments were during the 24-hour show. I mean, during the podcast awards. Oh, man. Whew. People were not nice. Oh, it's amazing. Yeah, we got Tech Bytes are due in. That's right. Oh, I think your video stream is still turned on. Can you hear me, guys?
I do hear you as well, yeah.
Okay. I'm very, very weak on your side of the house. I barely hear you.
Just button right here, and this one right here. Is that better?
Oh, that's much better.
Great.
Waiting for your video to kick on.
Got the Logitech 9000. Usually comes on automatically.
Had you added us as a contact? That might be part of it. Hang on.
Did I? Don't know.
I think you did. I think you called in earlier, so let me look.
Okay. Usually comes up automatically.
Yeah, it's really loud now. We got, it's way over. Well, the noise went down on it.
I'll work on the video. I don't know what usually comes on automatically. It didn't this time. Oh, I know what happened, I think. Let's see.
Yeah, your audio's right. Yeah, looks like I think the audio on your is set to auto adjust. I think that's what's going on there.
I'm like you. I'm a little bit tired.
There's probably good reason for that.
But hey, I've been with you.
Oh, did we lose you?
But here for moral support. A little bit of monetary coming along a little bit later. I'd really like to see this hit a 1K.
Yeah, it would be nice if it would get to that point. It would. Last year we did, if I remember correctly, we did about $2,600 last year. I can't remember what the total was, but
could be the economy.
Yeah, I think so too. I really do.
Yeah. Well, we could hit 1K. I tell you what, Todd, stay with us till, let's see, 10 o'clock, 3 o'clock Eastern time. Do that.
I think I'm getting feedback. I don't know why.
Okay. Well, you know what may be happening now? The Logitech 9000 has a mic in it as well. And it may be. I put my thumb over it. I should have had this ready. I don't know why it didn't come on when Skype came on. It usually does.
Do you want to try? Do you want to try redialing in? Sometimes that helps too.
Be right back.
All right. Of course, it might be the net connection here. Might be saying. Well, he'll be back here in a second with us. So, yeah, it's the zeros and ones are asleep. Absolutely, Todd. That sounds like an I'd volunteer to stay up. Oh, no, it ain't happening. I'm telling you right now. I got a little boy that's gonna have a birthday at after lunch. It's not happening. Kids are already put up with me being quiet in the house for the last 24 hours. There is no way. Absolutely no way. You know how much sacrifice there was for the kids not to do any gaming or anything today? I told them I needed all the bandwidth I could possibly use. That was a lot. How many of you guys have got one of these? I'm sure everyone's got one of these, right? You got yourself a number one back scratcher? Well, we're waiting for Riley to call back in. Two more hours. Oh, that's a beautiful thing. Nah. Someone's doing a 36-hour podcast next weekend. But there's two people there host. I have no idea who just sent that to the... But that doesn't look like not one of those, but is... I'm half afraid to open up that link. Oh, man, I just did not need to even... I just did not even need to see... Oh, man. That is just... That was just wrong. I'm sorry. That really was. How did you get that? You know, you must have one of those. You got that link that quick. Jesus. Oh, my goodness. That was TMI. TMI at this time in the morning. Yeah, no, we don't need no product demo. And see, the good thing is, this thing not only works good for scratching your back, it also makes one hell of a little switch. Kids see this coming, man, oh man, they have a tendency to not want to be around. Okay, so let me ask. Let's give away some stuff too. Let's do some podcast madness stuff. Oh, we got some more money coming in. Nice, 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 nice. So let me go ahead and we'll cover that here in a second. And I think Riley's trying to get in here now, so hopefully he'll be back up. And here's the codes. Okay, podcastmadness.com. And we're going to give away, give two codes here. We're going to do Mom and Awake. Mom and Awake. And so those of you who want to go to podcastmadness.com can go ahead and enter now and enter those codes. And you'll be able to go. I'm going to go back up here and figure out what total we were at. Oh boy, I think it already went beyond the Ustream stream. That means I got to re-add everything back up. Okay, we don't have nothing else to do here. So let me go down, and we got 3 more donations. We got a donation from Cold Creek Enterprises. One from Gary Evos. Thank you very much, Gary. And we got one from Chris. So let me see if I can do this upper level math here in the middle of the night. Oh, it's an odd number there. So I'll come back to that one. Okay, I think Ryan might be here. Hang on. He is here. Someone write down 664. That's where we're at right now for donation. 664. And Ryan's in the house. Did you get any sleep tonight? Okay. Let me move a camera around. That headset, and I will patch you in. And one of the guys that was actually trying to call in, I don't know if he's on Skype or not. Were you able to reconnect on Skype? I see him connected at 3 minutes and 49 seconds, but I don't hear him. Yeah, let me. It changes, yeah. For some reason I don't hear you. Hang on. Yeah, you can hear something. Can you hear me? Yeah. Pull your mic in. Oh, I don't hear you at all. Yeah, we're close. I have to. Let me look over here. See what I. Oh, that's weird that we can't hear you. No, it's not better. Let me see what I can figure out what's going on here. Yeah. Because I had people on earlier tonight. That's for the audio. And this is the. Let me put you on a. You can hear me though, okay?
Yeah, I hear you great.
All right, so let me put you on a different mic channel. Hang on. Oh, don't worry. Oh, there's something. Something just changed.
Ooh, I hear music.
Oh, I hear that's your Skype ringer. Yeah, can we hear you now? What's
Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello.
Yeah.
Hey,
Should have it up by now.
nice hat. Oh, there I am. There I am.
Oh.
I hear something.
All right, hang on. I got to get you into the rest of the feeds.
Sure. Technology.
Okay, we
Hey.
got Ryan in the house. He's going to be up here in about 15 minutes. He's actually brought me breakfast, and we got you in here.
Hi there.
And I'm sorry. What is your first name? I have to apologize here. It says R.T. Riley on the thing. So is it Ryan or what's your? Or we got Rob or who do we have on Skype?
Well, that'd be Kain, also known as Rick.
Okay, Kain, also known as Rick. Well, I am assuming here that you're the man behind the Tech Bytes Podcast.
That is I, indeed. The man behind the mask.
Well, I see got a TX on there. Now, that doesn't look like no Texas Longhorns color. Who's that?
Well, actually, it should have been. I think that they left off the Longhorn. So I have other hats. I've got a Tennessee volunteer hat over here as well.
All right.
In fact, I think I've got the shirt on. I'll pan down just a little bit.
Oh, so it is Tennessee Volunteers. Okay.
Yeah, we're a Vol alumni from way back.
So where are you located at? Are you in Tennessee or are you actually out in Texas?
We're actually in Pasadena, Texas.
Now, where is Pasadena in relation to Dallas or Houston or whereabouts? Texas is awful big, you know.
It is indeed. Yeah, Pasadena is a city of its own, actually, but bedroom community of Houston. I'm about 5 miles from the Johnson Space Center.
Oh, okay.
Awesome.
Very nice. You know, I make it as you probably, I don't know if you know or not, but I spend a lot of time in Texas. I go out and spend time in the Dallas-Fort Worth area and in Austin. I've even known to have a few nights in the Waco area. When I was in the Navy, there's a company called Bell 3 Communications there that I used to go out and babysit aircraft with, and every once in a while I do a little DoD consulting and find my way out there as well. So I tell you, there's one. You know, I had a cousin. I have to tell you this story, and we'll get into your show here real quick before we run out of time. I had a cousin who would come over for Thanksgiving, and he was I'm sure you're a Dallas fan, aren't you?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Oh.
And Houston Texans as well.
Well, I had a cousin who he just loved the Cowboys, and of course he come to Thanksgiving at a Lions house, a Lions family pretty much. Being I grew up in Michigan, of course that was the days when the only football game on was Detroit and the Lions, and poor Byron, he got abused by pretty much every family member. You know, if it wasn't verbal abuse, the kids were fighting or something. So, yeah, those were the days. So you do the Tech Bytes podcast, and how long have you been doing the show?
We've been doing Tech Bytes over on TalkShoe for about 3 years, I suppose. We're at 363 shows.
Wow.
Many of them, of course, got listed that shouldn't have been. They need to be removed. But it's a lot of fun. We're also over on Blueberry Network as a link, RSS feed, and several other places. And we just have a lot of fun. And although we're Tech Bytes, we talk a lot of tech, but actually it's open discussion. Whatever's on your mind, we dive into it.
Well, it sounds like. Do you have a co-host, or are you the primary figure behind the show?
The primary figure, but anybody that calls in, what I like about TalkShoe is the ability of for folks to call in, and sometimes it does wind up as a co-host situation, although not officially. We just rattle on, and it takes on a life of its own as the evening progresses. Maybe iPhones one day and iced tea the next.
Well, that's cool. Well, we're cruising along here, and we're really in the downward swing of the show. And actually, I'm quite glad that we're close to the end of the show, because it's been a long run here for me over the last number of hours. And but I think we've talked to just about talk tech, talk science, talk podcasting, talk new media, you name it. We've covered it all, and
You still have your voice.
and I still have my voice left, and I'm not as in bad shape as I was last year. Last year this time I was a hurting puppy. So you do the show over on TalkShoe. How often do you guys do the show?
Well, I'm trying to get back into it. Duty called over at one of the local radio stations, had me on the board as a board op for a while, and they'd interfered with me doing the show. But the station has now been sold, and I'm trying to get back into it full swing. And every night at 8 p.m. Eastern time, and callers from around the world.
Very cool.
And our ID over on TalkShoe is 7375. So if anybody wants to call in, it's family friendly. Just keep it clean, and we just have a good time.
Very cool. So what primarily in tech do you like to talk about?
Anything. I've been building my own computers for probably 15, 20 years, I suppose now. The machine I'm on right now is 8 gigs, 64-bit, and I'm using the Windows 7, the free one, for now.
The free one.
And loving it. Having a good time. Also into Linux a little bit, Ubuntu. And I'll be 66 years old in a couple of weeks, so I consider myself sort of a granddad of this whole thing, and just wish older people would get into this technology and podcasting and things. It would be a lot of fun.
Well, it's good to see that you're doing this at your age, and I agree. I think it's a great way for people to keep abreast of what's going on in technology. It keeps you abreast of keeps you modernized on what's happening, and you probably talk to your friends, and they're probably like, "What in the world are you talking about?" Is that what the response you get?
Exactly. I say I'm a podcaster, and they say, "Who?" So,
well, just tell them you're an internet radio host.
Internet radio host. That's probably what I should.
Yeah, and they're going to go, how do you do that? That's the next thing that's going to be the question. And how many people do you talk to? Well, I talk to the whole world. That'll get them talking a little bit, won't it?
I'll even show them a good way to connect and talk to their cousin on the other end of the world for free. We can do that.
Yeah. I have a friend that lives just down the hill from me, and his we were over in Japan together. He says, "Well, I'm going to call my wife on Skippy," and I said, "Steve, it's Skype." He says, "I know." He says, "But my wife calls it Skippy, so I'm going to call the wife on Skippy." And so that's something I have fun. I'm telling Choco, "I'm going to call you on Skippy," and she goes, "You mean Skype?" So she just doesn't get it, but it's a good little internal joke by me. So.
Well, we go out every once in a while and help folks that have crashed their computer or got a virus or something, and get them straightened out pro bono, and try to teach older people how to use a computer and get instead of being lonely and locked up in a room, they find themselves a nice chat room somewhere and equal likes and dislikes, and we try our best to get people involved. The older generation, and I think it helps to keep them out of the nursing homes. They keep that mind active.
Well, you know, that's what they say to help the onset of Alzheimer's is to use your brain. You know, if you don't use it, you lose it, right?
Exactly.
And I think it's very true. I think people that are active, you know, no matter if they're using their brain, you know, sometimes I think in this, you know, I sometimes think I'm using my brain too much because it sure wants to explode at the end of the day.
Well, you are today for sure.
Well, that's I think that's an absolute understatement.
Everybody on the network and the people that will listen to the podcast later, I'd like to thank you, Todd, for what you're doing. Ronald McDonald's house is one of my favorite deals. My daughter here in Pasadena is the general manager of one of the Mickey D's, brand new and just been built. And she's been with the organization for 25 years. And we love Ronald. And we have a Ronald McDonald's house here in the Houston area near the Children's Hospital. And they just do wonderful, wonderful work. And thank you very much, Todd. And let's see if we can hit that 1K before you call it a night.
Yeah, we just had a good one come in. We had a donation of $700. Actually, another donation of $100 come in. So we're at $764. And I'll tell you what I'll do. This is how we're gonna roll here. If we can get $136 raised in the next 90 minutes, I'll throw in the extra $100 to bring my total for the contribution for the show to $200. So if we get 136 in the next 90 minutes, and it doesn't matter if we get 200 in the next 90 minutes, I'll put us over an additional $100. So that's the goal, is to see if we can get this baby over $1,000 today, and that should be a good challenge, I think, shouldn't it?
Oh yeah, I think we will. I checked my PayPal account earlier. I hadn't been in there in a long, long time, and I don't have that much in there. But there's some money being transferred over as we speak. It's going to take a couple of days, and then it'll be on big headed your way there, Todd.
All right, and I was actually what I normally do is, because stuff normally comes in for 4 or 5 days, is I usually wait a week before we close out and get the grand total before we send the money over to the charity. But as my mom was on a little earlier, and they're trying to raise I think $500,000 here before the end of the year or end of Christmas or so. So if we can throw a K to them to get them a little bit closer to their goal, that is a K less that they have to go out and raise. But why don't you tell everyone a little? And I do appreciate anything you sent over. That's it's fantastic. I want to thank you for that. We've got just a couple of minutes here. I know you had a little problem getting in earlier to the show. Tell everyone exactly where to find your show again, and where you're at over on TalkShoe and the TalkShoe ID number. Make sure you send me an email with that link as well, so I can get it in the show notes, so we can get people linked up and sent over to you.
We certainly will. We have our own website, which will redirect. I haven't had time to actually build it for myself. It's techbytetalk.com.
And that's TECHBYTES, techbytestalk.com. And that'll redirect over to the TalkShoe account. I see you've got yourself a Heil PR40 there. How do you like that Heil?
Love it.
You know, it takes a certain voice to use that mic, and I'm glad you like it. I see a lot of people using them. I've got one up here in the overhead that I haven't used in a while, but it's definitely a great mic.
Yeah, I love the PR40, and I've got another one over here in the corner. If I ever have a guest in the studio, a couple of times we can set them up real fast, and we're sort of a low budget. Leo/Todd studio, but we're going to try to get there before we kick the proverbial bucket, as it is.
Well,
And we're also at talkshoe.com, and our ID number is 7375.
7375. Well, you know how I started this whole game out doing this show, don't you? I started out with a $795 Lab Tech headset from Walmart. So, it's not about the gear, it's about the content, and about continuing to put good information out, and the masses will come.
They will follow, as they say. So we just talk, let the thing carry itself, and I usually have a little sixth sense about when it gets a little bit boring when they start dropping off. While we rejuvenate it, we gave the keys away to a brand new 2009 Corvette the other night on one of our shows.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah, we sure did.
You gave away a car?
Well,
Holy cow! How did you work that?
We gave away the keys.
Oh, you gave away the keys. Say that again.
They'll have to find the automobile themselves.
Oh, that's too funny. That's beautiful.
We're going to be doing some work with you a little bit later over at Blueberry.
Yep,
We're going to be in touch with you and maybe moving some stuff around and do a show just on our own, maybe, and say my idea is strolling.
Your idea is, you said strolling?
Maybe sort of a Paul Harvey news and comment, and we'll try not to step on too many toes.
You sound like a little bit of a how should I say it? The folks in Texas, they have a different outlook on things in the union, and I think you'll have a pretty good time doing the news and comment show that you put together.
Sometimes we do. Man, we've been known to. You can always tell a Texan, Todd. You just can't tell them much. Well, I wasn't born in Texas, but I just got here as fast as I could.
Oh, very, very good. All right, folks, we got some more donations that have come in, so let me go ahead and give you the new. Someone's keeping track in the chat where we're at. Add me another $60, $90, $115 to that total. So add me another $115 to the total that we were at before. So yeah, you guys can't see we're close. We're gonna close to bust over that 1K mark. So well, thank you, sir, for coming on the show. Appreciate it. Best of luck to your podcast.
Thank you very much, and we'll be in touch, and my little contribution will be along, and the bank takes it to move it over, and them to okay it and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, absolutely, and I thank you very much for that. We definitely appreciate it. And again, send me an email with all that data on your show, and we'll make sure we get it up in the show notes for you. All right, folks, what I'm going to do, we are really here in the last throes of the show, and that means we've got Ryan Ozawa in the house, and we're going to recycle everything for the last time for tonight so that we can do the last 90 minutes without any interruption. And you can tell I'm waking up, getting my second wind here, so I'm going to recycle everything. And I'm going to save the deals. We're going to talk. Ryan's going to talk geolocation with us and a bunch of other cool stuff. And 24-hour podcast. That was segment number 20. Woo-hoo. That was segment number 21.
Well, Martin in the chat room says 879 is your new total.
Oh, very cool. So we're getting very close. the segment stuff in Ustream is going to be a mess. I couldn't keep track of the numbers I was at. I'm gonna have to go back and rename all this stuff. It's gonna be a wreck. Second to report for podcast with Andrew. Actually, yeah, Andrew Darlow. Part 2. Okay, let me save that.